European nights in so El Poland. I think Chelsea will need to make history for themselves, not only about winning that particular, the Conference Cup against the side of Real Betis, but they need to win to enhance their history when it comes to other things that they've achieved in football, being it the UEFA Super Cup, being it the Europa Cup, being it the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea, in all these three competitions organized by UEFA, they've been able to win all of these kind of trophies for themselves. And it tells you, say Chelsea couldn't know the Conference League and as the Conference Cup now, it will be one of the biggest achievements that Chelsea Football Club will want to go in hard and win against this particular team called Real Betis. But Real Betis will also want to win it and make it on their fifth trophy after this particular football club, after 117 years, they've been able to win this particular major trophy for themselves. But then Chelsea in the last 42 games against Spanish teams, Chelsea has been able to make sure so winning MU20 and MU22 I go for other things the Spanish teams conquer Chelsea Football Club, winning against the side of Spanish teams. And in the last 9 finals, our Spanish teams Asia against English sides we've seen Spanish teams overcoming the English sides in most of these kind of things. The last timer the side of English side winning against Spanish teams was Deportivo Alaves and not Liverpool in the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. Not Liverpool winning by 5-4 on penalties. Liverpool winning that particular trophy. It was that particular time Liverpool had that kind of issue. Apart from that, they always finals at the side of Spanish teams and meeting against English sides. It has become very problematic for English side to win against this particular Spanish team. Now, you are talking about the side of Chelsea Football Club, winning in 1971, winning in 1998 when it comes to the European Cup at that time. But then we've had a lot of coaches in the last games of Chelsea Football Club, that is in their debut season, they were able to win a lot of trophies for the side of Chelsea Football Club. So we check it in 1997 and 1998 season. There was a particular coach called Gianluca Vialli, and then Oribe replacing Ruud Gullit in his first debut season for the side of Chelsea Football Club. In the first season with Chelsea go into the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup with Real Madrid Football Club in 1997-1998 season, and then he was able to win that particular cup for Chelsea Football Club in his first debut season as a coach for the side of Chelsea Football Club. He was an Italian. Then you talk about other coaches talking about Thomas Tuchel in 2021. It was his first debut season for Chelsea Football Club. After in 2019-2020 season, or the PSG Football Club go into the finals of the UEFA Champions League against Bayern Munich. Now Bayern Munich for a channel by 1-0. The side of Thomas Tuchel making sure or the Chelsea come in 2021 Champions League finals against Manchester City, and after that particular finals, he was able to win that particular game against Pep Guardiola Manchester City, or to me remaining a particular history for himself as one particular club or making sure in Europe. Or that kind of history for himself as a coach for Chelsea Football Club. Then you talk about Rafael Benitez in 2013. After Chelsea edged 2012, UEFA Champions League, they came a certain Rafael Benitez who took over from Roberto Di Matteo, an only Italian coach. But this guy was a Spanish coach or taking Chelsea Football Club. He was able to make sure in his first debut season in the Europa League, or the Chelsea Football Club, it's that kind of history, in his first debut season for Chelsea Football Club. Then you talk about Mauricio Sarri. Sarri was also an Italian coach. When Sarri came to Chelsea Football Club, on also first debut season in 2018-2019 season, he made sure the Chelsea budget that Europa League against Arsenal Football Club when they went into the finals, and then he won that cup smoothly for Chelsea Football Club in his first debut season. And then he was also an Italian. Then you talk about Roberto Di Matteo in his first debut season as a Chelsea Football Club coach. After some Pamo Andras Villas-Boas, the Chelsea Football Club, we saw Roberto Di Matteo as an Italian coach who came to Chelsea, and then in his first debut season in the Champions League, he was able to make sure or the first particular player in his life on starting the UEFA Champions League that tournament or never born into the finals in the likes of Ryan Bertrand, and then or no as a coach in the first debut season in the finals of the UEFA Champions League, or budget that particular trophy at the Chelsea Football Club in 2012 against Bayern Munich. He won that cup, that kind of trophy smoothly for Chelsea. So in his first debut season, he had that particular record. Enzo Maresca currently, as we are speaking, and the first debut season for Chelsea Football Club. And Odiome Uremu in the Conference League, Okobo Etia, Manuel Pellegrini, he would try to make sure that Pellegrini a really Copa del Rey with Real Betis that year, but then he would try to also make sure that he will become the second Chilean coach after Fernando Riera added a side of Benfica in a European Cup in 1978 against AC Milan. Also to AC Milan by 2-1. The side of Manuel Pellegrini will try to make sure that he will become the second coach which restored that kind of history at the other side of the Real Betis against the side of Chelsea Football Club. But notwithstanding, Chelsea Football Club Asema in this particular competition a year Bono DIABY, we've seen a lot of teams are participating in this particular competition, but Chelsea has been able to score close to about 38 goals in this particular competition for themselves, and they've become that kind of teams in the last 36 games and in the last 36 goals of match as a football club. No, they've used a lot of players are changing a lot of tactics in this particular team and as in this particular competition. You talk about Enzo Fernandez. He has been able to have a record. Say in the last 5 games for Chelsea Football Club in the Conference League, in every 42 minutes beyond Oshego, because close to about 5 goals in this particular competition as a average year, close to about 251 minutes for Chelsea Football Club in a Conference League. But then all that kind of goals now, watch Ediama Chelsea Football Club. They talk about Margio, who says goals for the side of Chelsea Football Club. Nicola Jackson will return to this particular tournament after say on one case in most of the matches of Boya, he's shown in that red card. He will return and play for Chelsea Football Club or Beshe in the starting 11. I said Enzo Maresca for him in this particular game. So will be aware a lot of distractions, a lot of neutralization in the midfield in the Conference League. You talk about Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. Partnership in most of the games Chelsea Football Club. They've been able to make or set that kind of record for the side of Chelsea Football Club within that kind of midfield. But then with the side of Real Betis, Manuel Pellegrini is a well-experienced coach as compared to Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca, the kind of trophy was against Leicester City or Moko into Championship. He qualified from the Championship into the Premier League and making sure so be restored that kind of history for himself. But apart from that, working under Manuel Pellegrini at West Ham, working under Pep Guardiola of Manchester City, he has not seen that at all for himself. But when it comes to the weakness of Manuel Pellegrini, it should be Enzo Maresca, because he has worked with him at West Ham. He knows the ins and outs of Manuel Pellegrini when it comes to his tactical tweaks and when it comes to the variation in terms of tactics. Enzo Maresca had that kind of experience against Manuel Pellegrini. But with Manuel Pellegrini or with that kind of history or that kind of experience, but against Enzo Maresca, all those overhead Chelsea football matches in the Premiership and also in the Conference League. But as Enzo Maresca, almost Enzo Maresca, the weakness when it comes to coaching of players and when it comes to tweaking of tactics, Manuel Pellegrini will be very difficult for him to see that kind of thing from Enzo Maresca. But as I will share in the tactical lineup at these two football club teams that you now, I'm seeing a 4-1-4-1 tactical flexibility for Chelsea Football Club. I'm seeing Marco Krella being played as a left fullback for Chelsea and the Bernard Badashile as a left centre back. Torsten Adarabio will be played as a right centre back, and Reece James will play as a right fullback for Chelsea Football Club. So a lot of generation expect so Reece James can easily become an inverted midfielder just to support Moises Caicedo Nobo as a lonely pivotal midfielder in that kind of midfield for the side of Chelsea. So Moises Caicedo this time around, Onya Obi to say Enzo Fernandez or Nenebo as a 2 pivotal midfielders in the central midfielder. You talk about Enzo Maresca or Obo with Chelsea 4-2-3-1. This time around, it's not a 4-2-3-1 tactical formation, but it will be a 4-1-4-1 tactical formation for the side of Chelsea Football Club. So you get Moises Caicedo, then Jadon Sancho will become that kind of player in the left wing forward for the side of Chelsea Football Club. Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, because Enzo Fernandez, the offensive duties with Chelsea Football Club this season has been a sole development for himself as a basic player. So he has a lot of balance and he has a lot of creativity in attacking third of Chelsea Football Club. Then you talk about Noni Modric in that particular right wing forward of Chelsea. He can also add a lot of in-swing passes into the attacking third. But Nicola Jackson will leave lead attacking line for the side of Chelsea. Because when you talk about most of these potent strikers, as more some clear chances are, with my converting most of these chances into the goal net. Little Jackson can easily score that kind of goals. But then, now can we expect to say, Obi about the competition right from the group stages, up through the knockout stages now. When leading the attacking line, Chelsea I share a lot of goals. Nanka, I was expecting say, Obi to say Maggie or Nubitima Abo as a standing number 9 for Chelsea Football Club, because currently as we speak in this particular competition, he has added a lot of goals to his credibility out of so free Barcelona about the side of Chelsea Football Club. Always 6 goals with about 3 assists for himself, and it tells you say when you give him that kind of chance to lead the attacking third of Chelsea Football Club, he can easily make sure so when you to me I that kind of things, and the side of Chelsea Football Club. But with Real Betis, you talk about Cardoso and the other guy who made FIFA with them at that side of Real Betis. It will be a proper battle between Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, maybe Cole Palmer against the defensive action in the midfield of Real Betis. Johnny Cardoso and Pablo Forma will become the 2 double midfielders, or must support will be to say the side of Isco, Anthony, and Abdul Ezaoui in that kind of attacking third for the side of Real Betis. And Sandro Bekambu will become that kind of starting number 9 or Nubitimabo Edema the side of Real Betis Football Club. So we share this particular starting lineup of Real Betis. See, you're ball in the full 90 minutes. Chelsea will have a stand and that's a chance of winning against Real Betis. But he extended the call the extra timer. I'm seeing Real Betis overcoming the side of Chelsea Football Club. Yes, because I'm seeing Isco. When it comes to our experience, we want to talk about a European Cup. We're talking about the UEFA Champions League. Talking about any other competition, be it Europe. We are seeing Isco no RGB so many times with Real Madrid Football Club. Anthony with Manchester United. When he came to Manchester United, in at Manchester United, but when he came to Real Betis Football Club, he has been able to add close to about 8 goals contribution only in the European Conference League this season for himself. Sandro Bekambu has added a lot of 9 goals contribution for himself in this particular competition. Then you talk about Cardoso in terms of passing accuracy in the midfield. So will be initiate a lot of passing accuracy from the starting number 6 position to the attacking third. We've seen that kind of guy, one more close to about 76 passing accuracy for himself, more than any other midfielder or in the Conference League this season for his favorite club. And we are seeing Cardoso trying to make that kind of thing. But in terms of creativity, we are talking about an informed Cole Palmer Obetimabo together with Enzo Fernandez as the 2 double number 10s in attacking third. But Obi-Wan the prime in this particular moment in time, Edema Real Betis Obetima creating a lot of juicy chances into the attacking third for Sandro Bekambu to score a lot of goals. It will be Isco, and I think that this time around he will just make a close assist for him, Sandro Bekambu to score in attacking third. But in terms of Chelsea Football Club, I've already told you, Jadon Sancho, the side of Noni Madueke, will try as much as possible to expand the porosity nature of Manuel Pellegrini, sometimes all flipping above the 5-4-1 tactical system, sometimes all flipping above the 4-4-2 tactical system for himself. I think Jadon Sancho and Noni Madueke will try to expand that particular porosity nature for himself. And the 2 double number 10, that's Cole Palmer, and the side of Enzo Fernandez will try to make sure house spaces in between Real Betis or more defensive structure. He will try as much as possible to depict in these kind of house spaces. Little Jackson are available in most of the space. They will create a lot of balance in attacking third at the side of Chelsea Football Club. I'm tipping. Nicolas Jackson has a chance here. He will score goal. Chelsea in the full 90 minutes will win. But say Traco extra minute. I'm seeing a win for Real Betis.
Have you ever said that on your Facebook of the Brad King Kevin?